that Swamp Small key could be buried very deep. And in fact, I don't think either runner would be upset if they never actually had to go back in and use that Swamp Small key. But Fred does need to at least get to that first chest. And Ace finds Mire. Let's see. Does he has the Mire big and is going to go in. So he can check 7 items. If he finds the cane, he can finish it. But what are the odds of that? They're non-zero.
No one's ever seen a French vanilla cane before.
I know, right? Or even a vanilla cane. It could be. Now, we do have 1 Mire Small, which means probably going to route this in the traditional Key Sanity way, which says we do the left side first, including the cutscene. Ace would be well served to not be taking as much damage. Misery Mire is not a good place to refill your health. There aren't a lot of heart pots, and if you don't have powder, those anti-fairies are not going to help you out.
But hey, AceZer didn't turn in the mushroom, so if he found the cane, he could fake powder. But
yeah, so
seems more trouble than it's worth. Oh, and Fred is taking us to right side desert, even though he has the desert big key. Fortunately, we know he should be able to come up with the desert small without too much work.
Oh, and he's not. Yeah, he's not going to want to reset that. Like, that's a tough one. Like, if it had been arrows and bombs or something, then you just reset that. So now he's got to find that desert small. But we've seen it on Ace's side, so he should run into it as well.
Yeah, and just to address chat, since Hammer was in Spiral Cave, and Spiral Cave was located at Aegina.
Yep.
So it is actually a Sphere 1 check.
Yeah, if Ace manages to go get that flute, or finds the connector that...
Ooh!
Oh, there's that Swamp Small.
Yeah, so that should get Fred his glove, and then the only question is how far into Swamp does he go?
I mean, you can full clear it. It's green. It's 11 checks.
Right,
it's green
11.
pendant. He knows where Saha is. So yeah, I could definitely see a full clear here. I mean, especially he did reset. Okay, he's gonna reset that tempered sword away and the Swamp Small away.
He's gonna feel really silly when he gets that desert small and sees that it was pretty easy to find all along. But hey, at least he knows how to get that,
He knows where there's a sword, so that's good.
And he just...
I mean...
Oh, well, I guess the tracker already has it down that Fred did the map check, and we know desert is another crystal, and he knows where the back of desert is, so he can beat Landmo for his second crystal if he wants.
Yeah, he probably wanted to check first and see what was on that right side before... Oh, and silvers for Ace, so that'll be nice.
That's definitely a nice find before Viddy.
Oh, for sure. Of course, we still don't have a cane. One more shot at it.
It's funny how Bridge Chest winds up being last in the standard Key Sanity check order.
And if you're going to go ahead and finish the dungeon, you don't even do it from this direction. You'll hookshot from the other bridge and then fall down, and then you're right back to the room we want to be in to... Okay, so Fred just went back and got his Swamp Small and his sword, I guess? I guess he didn't want to reset that after all? Or did he pick up the small key while I wasn't looking? No, he didn't. Okay.
No, he hasn't gotten the small. I guess he wanted the Swamp Small? I'm confused.
Yeah, I thought he would keep that stuff, and then he reset, and then he went back and grabbed it again. Thought better of whether he should keep that or not.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a time waste, especially as AceZer now is doing the back of desert and doesn't need to worry about scumming keys because he's got the small, and hopefully he'll go back to the front of desert.
Interesting. Your chat's saying that he only picked up the Swamp Small, but if you're going to waste the key, why not grab the sword too? I'm extremely confused by that.
Well, he didn't waste the key. The Swamp Small was in the big chest.
Oh, okay, okay. Now it makes sense. So he can still go back and get that sword once he finds the desert small key.
And suddenly, land mows are very easy with silver arrows.
Until we miss.
Batting 667.
I've been joking that no one can do a silver arrow fights anymore because of hard mode. Because we not only did the people get used to playing hard mode, those of us that weren't playing in the tournament got used to watching hard mode. And Fred in the Dark World does do the Super Bunny action trick with the mirror to get this item, and it was a Skullwood small key, which is one of the least useful small keys out there. Technically, Moth is locked behind all 3 small keys, including the one that's always in the pinball room. Oh, hey, we found our... Oh, I guess we saw this earlier from Fred. Being spit out at the bomb shop, which is really nice because you don't have to ever worry about the big bomb.
Right, but at the same time, we now know that Mire and Skullwoods are crystals. Even though we will never need the fact that they're 5/6 crystals for anything.
Yeah. Okay, we still have the same situation we had a little while ago. Ace still needs to get back over to where Fred is going through right now, Hookshot Cave, to get his flute. Fred still needs to go into Swamp Palace to go get his glove. Small key to pod. Okay.
That's small key number 3, so we can make pretty good headway if we find pod.
Yeah, the more small keys we see before actually finding pod, the better off we are. Like 4, you can full clear it. 6, you need all 6 logically. 4 allows you to full clear it with a hammer jump and some shenanigans, dealing with the front door and going around it on the Bollock side. 5 is kind of the number you want. It lets you full clear everything, and you don't have to, and you can open that front door. If you're playing in Crosskeys, I feel like any sort of key sandy, knowing how to do the hammer jump is pretty critical. And Ace just doesn't want to go to the magic bat drop down. I wonder if he's just completely forgotten that he hasn't been there yet.
And Fred just doesn't want to go to Swamp. So
yeah, I understand Fred not wanting to go to Swamp a little bit more. Especially in Ace's case when he still has that 50-50 shot of where Ganon is. So yeah, I always like to know where Ganon is.
Yeah, but right, once Ace gets the flute, then he can easily get to Aegina and get the hammer.
Yep, and that's also important. Ace gonna get that sword now. There we go. Fred's gone into Swamp, and he's gonna get that glove. Ace gets his sword. And Fred's just going to keep going. So, yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's 11 checks total. And if you can't full clear a crystal dungeon, let's full clear a pendant dungeon.
And that's a GT small. We already have one. It's our second. So really, that's probably all we need to full clear the basement when the time comes. And honestly, Fred can't do right side of the basement, but Hammer and Hookshot, he could certainly do left side of the basement.
Yeah, he could. I mean, they could climb even, if they have enough keys left over. I think it gets a little bit tricky if you end up going to the Armos Knights from the right side, which is not going to happen here, because that extra small key that people drop down and steal.
Oh, AceZer found a Dark World entrance to Desert and is going to Bunny Revive.
Yep. I mean, he's done clearing desert at this point because the only thing left is on the torch. I don't even know what was on the torch, but I'm guessing it's nothing. But the compass, people don't like compasses in general, but I kind of think they're pretty useful. Showing that 5 out of 6 that Ace has in this dungeon. Fred also having a compass of swamp, showing that 4 out of 10 that he's checked over in Swamp Palace. It does kind of keep you honest sometime if you pay attention to that. Now, I don't advocate going super far out of your way for a compass, but if it's right there on path, I like to pick them up myself.
Yeah, the one time the compass can get you confused is, well, the two places, Desert and GT, because if you see the torch and don't grab what's on it, the compass doesn't increment.
I would add Hera to that because of the basement of the first basement item.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that because usually that one's grabbed, but not always.
And Fred working on a diver down with bombs. So it'll make things a little bit faster if you're planning on full clearing swamp anyway. And if you're going independent swamp, you're full clearing it. You're not gonna skip the left side. At least this early. If it was later on, you go rush the back. It's a little faster, a little more item dense. And you hope never to go to the left side, but in this case, it's early enough. There's too much we're missing. It makes no sense to not do this first.
Hey, and we have King's Tomb at Spike Cave. AceZer is trying that.
Yeah, Fred did this earlier.
Clip in.
I think this was the Skullwood small key, which mirrored too early that time.
Nice clip into the wall.
And the only thing that Skullwood small key will do for Ace is he's already got one Skullwood small that he took out of the front of Skullwoods. So when he gets to Skullwoods, he won't have to kill the mummy, which is kind of nice. Like, it's a small time save. What do you want to bet that this Moon Pearl is in swamp somewhere?
Could well be. I mean, it's starting to get annoying that we don't have it.
Yeah.
As we get towards the hour mark and have done a lot of the light world checks, though by no means all.
Yeah, also very possibly in GT, since that is light world as well.
And that's a lot of checks there, as we discussed.
Sure is.
That's only 5 checks that you can't do.
Yeah. Those checks being the ones on the right side of the basement. A cane would put in logic the tile room. With a cane, they could sequence break into the compass room. I don't know that you would. But it's in GT is in a bad enough spot that if they did get the cane before going there, I could definitely see either one of them sequence breaking the right side with the bomb jump and the lamp. A lot of things come down to whether you do them or not. Come down to is how hard will it be to get back to this location. And if the answer is that I can get back to this location really easily, then, it's much more appealing to go ahead and skip something. But if you're not going to get back to a location, like the GT is on Light World, Bumper Ledge, or Death Mountain Descent Cave, which means you have to go through the connector that gets you there, which means then you have to mirror, and that's annoying. It's not something you really want to have to do if you can avoid it. So, I could definitely see the runner saying, I have, once they get the Cane of Samaria, I have everything I need to full clear this, even though, 4 of those chests are not in logic. May as well just do it now.
And AceZer is taking us this way. We've seen Saha's hut, but I don't think we've seen Eastern.
Yeah, this was a connector from somewhere.
Oh yeah, the Super Bunny-ish connector, because it kind of looks like Super Bunny inside.
Yeah, it's the Fairy Ascent Descent Cave combination. Again, the one that if you mirror from the back of Turtle Rock at Laser Bridge, you get to.
So that's our full clear of swamp. I don't think we really got anything
No.
besides that.
We got a green pendant. Green
We got a
pendant could
blue
still be
mail.
something. Blue mail's nice. A nice luxury item. And we see the chess game on Ace's side with a fire rod. Okay, so now if he finds Canis Samaria...
Oh my! Fred is letting Saha knows what he thinks about that little trinket.
What did he get?
That was the moon pearl.
Oh my god. Okay, that is pretty fascinating.
So that swamp full clear was 100% worth it.
And required. I don't know, if I would actually be feeling pretty good to get that there after full clearing swamp for literally nothing else. I mean, I'm not counting the glove, because the glove was, walk in and grab it if you don't have the swamp small at the time. So Ace needs to get back to swamp. He also still needs to get back to the hookshot cave, which is right next to the magic bat drop down, which he still hasn't checked.
Yeah, well, really, the logical order is get to Hookshot Cave to get the flute, then you have an easy way to get to Aegina's cave to get the hammer, then go back to swamp.
That would be the order he wants to do things in, or would like to do things in, but he doesn't know that yet.
Oh, and Fred is seeing that Turtle Rock is a pendant and ice is a crystal. Pod, sorry, not Turtle Rock is the pendant. But yeah, we're slowly filling in the gaps here. We don't know Eastern Thieves or TR. Exactly one of them is a pendant. Yeah, it's kind of interesting when Fred got that exit out of Fairy Ascent at Saha's cave that he didn't check what was at Eastern, because, seems like that's the best chance to do that.
So the answer, chat, Ace has been to Desert. He's beaten Desert. He just needs to get the big chest. Actually, no, he did the big chest. He's got. No,
he has a swamp small.
He's done, but he doesn't have the hammer. What he needs to do is, as Drosy was just saying, he needs to get that flute, to make it easy to get to Aegina, to get the hammer, or even just walked over to Aegina to get the hammer. He could go back into Swamp Palace.
And now Fred gets his desert small and is like, oh, I could get a tempered sword now.
Yep. I don't feel like the desert access locations are particularly good, so I don't know when he's going to route that in. But I suspect he'll figure out some point to route that in, unless he finds another sword elsewhere.
So okay, Ace big is an ice small, which will help with routing.
Yeah.
I guess Ace did get that.
Yeah, he full cleared Skullwoods.
Okay, Ace is getting tantalizingly close to Aegina's. He might get his hammer here.
Yeah, he's going to get the hammer before he gets the flute. Because I think he's completely forgotten that there's still one more drop down that he has not checked. Oh, wow, that is a Canis Samaria that we can't get to.
So unless we can find one of the two entrances that leads there, that is Mitz locked and flute locked.
Yeah, and as long as we've gone without finding a connector there, I think there's a really good chance that the Mire area may actually be Mitz locked. Ace gets his hammer, so let's see if he goes over to Swamp Palace. And maybe thinks about checking out that one last drop down. If I remember correctly, these entrances were nothing. Well, a map, but really nothing. And since it's Hyrule Castle, it's really nothing.
Very inconvenient magic shop was really what it came down to.
Yep, that too. I know Ace doesn't like buying potions very often. I don't know about Fred. In fact, Ace gives me a hard time because I buy too many potions when we co-op.
Oh, right. And Ace still doesn't have his Moon Pearl, so he can't get whatever's in Mimic. I wonder if Fred will go back and check that at some point.
Yeah, it's such a horrible location to get back to, too. Ace, where are you going next? Because you're kind of running out of things you can do.
Oh, and Fred finds Spec Rock. Did we see this on Ace's side?
I think we've seen the bottom on one of their sides, but we have not seen the top. So, yeah, if Fred was the one that saw the bottom, or if they've both seen the bottom, he'll know not to follow this connector, because it doesn't take him anywhere useful. And 100 rupees at this point doesn't really do much good for us. I think Ace is beelining Swamp, which is good for him, but it's still going to keep him away from that hookshot cave. Or maybe he's going to do that. Let's see. Where is he going? No, he is going Swamp. Okay.
Ah, well. Well, hopefully while he's in the area, he will...
think to do the last drop down.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I confirm for yourself that Ganon is indeed vanilla, and that you do need to do the climb.
And then go into Smith's house and, you know...
See that there's a hookshot cave, and get an item, and get a connector. And
so now Fred's going back for his tempered sword.
Yeah. I figured he'd route this in at some point. I mean, tempered versus master sword is just so much better. There's such a big difference. He knows that first chest is crap, so he's just going to go straight for the back.
Still no sign of the boots. Not that we've really needed them for anything yet.
Yeah, boots are a funny thing. Like, sometimes they come up really, really late, but then your last connector, or sorry, last entrance to get to an important dungeon will be behind them. We still haven't seen... I don't think we've seen Thieves' Talon. I don't think we've seen Ice from either runner. Oh, no, we saw Ice on Fred's side, I see. We've seen parts of Turtle Rock, but we haven't seen all of Turtle Rock. We haven't seen Eastern. Oh, our tracker's saying we've seen all of TR. Yeah, I guess Ace checked some of the entrances, and we did see the laser bridge from the back. So, without the boots, Swamp Palace is so slow.
I thought we just saw 2 entrances of TR. Maybe I missed the other 2.
Have we seen the front? No, we did see the front, because the front was in Laser Bridge were at Death Mountain, and then we saw Ace found I think they both found the right entry, and Ace checked the left. I don't know that Fred's checked the left. And Fred's showing us how annoying it is to check Graveyard Ledge when you don't have boots or mitts. And we'll get another diver down here. For absolutely nothing on the left side.
Hey, don't knock Blue Mail.
Yeah, okay, Blue Mail's good.
Not progression, but...
No, not progression. And Ace will... I mean, we'll see how quickly he turns in that green pendant. But, it's going to take him further and further away from that hookshot cave area. It may be that there is a connector that we haven't found that'll get him to the mire area, in which case the flute would be a convenience and not a requirement. But it's looking more and more like we might need mitts to get into that area. Ah, another pod small key over there at Spike Cave for Fred. Which gets him to 4, which means when he gets to pod, if he wants to full clear it, if he has the big key at the time, he can full clear it without... again, using hammer jumps and some shenanigans with the front door. Can full clear it and still beat it. And now Fred gets to check Dark World. Not as a bunny, which is much more efficient than checking Dark World as a bunny. There's that ice palace. I guess it was Ace that saw it. No fire rod for Fred, so he can't go and do anything there.
Yeah, he just needs to go to Eastern. You know, that's another Sphere 1 check.
Yep. Actually, no, he's got bombos. He could do stuff there. In fact, does he have the big key? Looks like he does. No, he doesn't. He's got a small key. So he may just not want to do it because Samaria. You know, Icebreaker is changed how we do Ice Palace so drastically that no one wants to go in it without being able to do an Icebreaker. And library bombs we don't care about. The chess game is going to give us Sick Kid, unfortunately. And a big key to Eastern. Oh. If we ever find Eastern, that'll be useful.
2/3 chance we need it.
Yep. Meanwhile, Ace on his Argus fight will find out that the only thing useful here is potentially the green pendant, which, as it turns out, is very useful. And we see the chicken hut on Fred's side, which has mitts. Okay, so yeah,
that gives us Samaria.
That gives Fred. That. Yeah, he doesn't know that yet, but you know he's got flute and mitts. I can't imagine that once he finishes this route of Dark World, I would suspect that he's going to go and make his way over there. Ace saving and quitting is not heading over. It's looking more and more like that. More and more like that flute is going to be hard required. So he really needs to get over there.
So I'm thinking we don't need that much more for no mode at this point. As long as TR is a pendant. If TR is a crystal, we still need the big key and the ice rod.
Yeah.
But if TR
and we do need entrances. We need 2 entrances. Yeah. Oh, potentially 2 entrances.
I was about to say we just need to find entrances. We need to find Thieves Town, find the back of Skull Woods, find Eastern.
And I think we're getting a Ganon's Tower play here. Which, Fred hasn't found Ganon's Tower yet, because when he was over here, he didn't have a mirror. I could see Ace thinking that this is going to be his Moon Pearl. It certainly could be. He's got to do the climb anyway, so I expect him to do that. Whether we need the left side here or not, don't know, but I suspect we'll find something good here. And it'll be... Ooh, boots!
That's something good.
That's a good thing.
Quake may or may not open an entrance to something important.
Yeah. Medallions are so weird in entrance. It's like, okay, it's a medallion. It might give me an entrance that we just don't care about. You know?
Well, I mean, presumably Fred will soon check the Mire area. He has everything he needs for it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I feel like he's going to do... I mean, he probably stays on this Dark World loop first. And then goes to the Mire area. The better question is, when does he go back to the bumper ledge to mirror to get over to Ganon's Tower? He knows for sure that the climb will be required. Ace may be thinking the climb is required because he's checked all but one drop down, and we think he may have forgotten the last one because he's not gone over to Magic Bat yet.
And Ace just found the last 2 bottles here in GT.
That's a lot of bottles.
But for those of you who might not be aware, Fred showed us something interesting at Pyramid Ferry, that the actual ferry attached to the ferry pools is dependent on what world you're in.
Oh, that's an ice rod.
That it is, so...
That could be required.
Even if TR is a crystal, we're now just a TR big from item no mode.
That's right.
But still got a few entrances to find either way.
Yeah, and I agree with chat's statement that Ace's biggest issue is definitely that flute. Partly because it may be hard required. Oh, big key to Turtle Rock. Okay, so there you go.
Item no mode.
Item. Yeah, that's all the items that we could possibly need. We just need some entrances. I mean, logically, we need more stuff, but we don't care about that, you know, with the small
Who
keys
cares
pod.
about ice? Yeah, who cares about ice big key?
I was more thinking of pod smalls.
Yeah, but pod's a pendant.
Oh, we know that now? Oh, we do know that now. I see that on Fred's side.
The map and checked it.
Yeah, okay. We're ether from true no mode because we don't know what medallion requirements are. Okay,
and there
so
are 2 other PR smalls.
Yeah. Ace is going to do the climb, which makes me think that he has definitely is a strong word. He may be suspecting that this is required, and probably has forgotten the last drop down, and is figuring out that this. I mean, he's correct that he's got to do the climb. So hopefully he doesn't mirror out at the end, thinking that this isn't the right call. But
so Fred's taking Jeremiah on a bit of a tour, but have we actually seen the Smith house?
I feel like we have. I don't remember where it was. Yeah, it's kind of neat an entrance the way the Smith will just go almost anywhere that you want to go. Like, he'll even go into dungeons with you. Just don't beat a crystal dungeon because he'll disappear. Also, don't grab another follower because that's another way to make him disappear.
Yeah, so if we beat Ice, he's out of here.
Yeah. And Fred might just not care. This is a little unfortunate, because if Fred would just go to the mire area and mirror, he'd find the Cane of Samaria, and is instead going to have to do bomb jumps and do this the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I'm just really surprised when he got mitts that he didn't check mire.
Yeah, I am too.
Usually, like, one of the first plays someone makes when they have flute plus mitts.
Ooh, a castle tower small. Well, we don't want to deal with those.
Silver's coming in handy again. Fred still hasn't been to mire to get his silvers. I mean, he knows where the entrance is, but he hasn't gone in.
Yeah, at the time, he didn't have no Samaria. I don't think he had the big key either. No, I don't remember that for sure. And Ace was showing us some bow strats, because no Cane of Samaria makes these rooms not nearly as easy as they normally are.
I'm already forgetting where the mitts were.
We found them really recently, too.
Yeah. It was somewhere in... Was it Sick Kid? Or Chicken Hut? It was one of the two.
It was definitely in Villjak as our tracker profile thing, Chicken Hut, so... Shoutouts to our trackers, also Lady Lauralinda. Clicking those buttons behind the scenes, the MVPs. Always the MVPs of these restreams, because we'd be pretty lost without them. There's another Ice Palace small key. Nice magic refill, too, for Ace there.
And the all-important bug net, which we can now use on our Agathite just because.
Okay, let's see what Ace does after this, because we know he needs to complete this, and he may be suspecting he needs to complete this. If he leaves, then that means he's forgotten the other drop down, for sure. Okay, and of course the thing he's missing, let's see. Is it Vanilla Bat? I wonder if he's just gonna...
Bat? I think Bat was at the useless fairy drop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? That sounds right. So I wonder if he's gonna drop down here thinking that he's gonna get another item and he'll face scan and so... This is really interesting right now. It almost would be the best thing he could do if he drops down thinking this is an item, and then maybe he then realizes, oh wait, there's still one more drop down I have not checked. I believe that was a small, a small key to Thieves Town that Fred just picked up, which it's nice to find that. We know we don't have to have that because we know where everything is.
No, it wasn't Thieves Small. I didn't catch what it was, but I know that AceZer got the Thieves Small somewhere else.
Okay. I thought I saw, maybe a map or a compass then.
Oh, our tracker is saying map, which could be useful because it's one of the things we still don't know.
Okay, Ace knows this is Ganon, but still doesn't realize that he needs to go to the other drop down. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, he also needs to go to Saha and get his Moon Pearl.
Yeah, he needs to do that too.
He went to all that trouble of getting a green pendant, which isn't doing him much good to carry around.
No, not doing him any good to carry around. Needs to turn that in. If he, like, in some ways, he's gonna do these boots entrances and find Pod, and he doesn't know that this is a pendant, so he's gonna be sucked in to do a whole bunch of stuff. This is really unfortunate.
At least we don't have Pod big.
And it's gonna keep going. With 2 keys, you can do quite a bit. He is going to open the front door, which is good, because that'll save him time. He's not going to try and do any shenanigans trying to save that extra key. Meanwhile, Fred gets his crystal and will lose his frog. Actually, yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, the frog disappears as soon as you get the refill at the end of the cutscene.
Yep, poor Jeremiah. Oh, there's the ice big key.
Logically required.
Logically required, yes. Yes, indeed. The one thing that Ace has going for him is he does have those boots, so everything he's going to be doing the rest of the seed is going to be faster than what Fred is doing. Fred's still having not found Ganon's tower. It's in such a bad place for him. Again, he was at that location without the mirror, and he needed the mirror to get there. So he might last location that entrance. Extra Meyer small key that doesn't really do anything for us. And a compass to Meyer.
But while Ace knows where the cane is, he can't get it without the mitts and the flute.
Yep, and he can't get the mitts until he gets a Moon Pearl, and he can't get the flute until he remembers to go back over towards Vanilla Magic Bat and check the Smith's entrance to get Hookshot Cave.
And while we were talking about Ace, Fred did a map check. And the Smiths have half magic, which is nice.
Yeah.
And Thieves is our final pendant, so Eastern and Tiara crystals, we need to find Eastern, we need to find the back of Skull Woods.
And Ace finds a gold sword, so that's nice. Doesn't really save a ton of time. Okay, so Fred's going to get his cane here. Now, Fred still needs his Fire Rod, which I believe was at the Eastern entrance, and he still needs his Ice Rod in GT.
And Meyer is Bombos, so we can open that.
You know, it's an entrance. It might have something. And Ace going to be done with Pod really soon because...
I like Fred's double take there for the cane.
Yeah. Well, we've all done it. You know, we expect something to be nothing, and we turn around, and then, oh, wait, we want that. Looks like Fred also wants some refills here.
Well, at the rate he goes through bombs.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of his signature. Oh, another small key to Skullwood. So the only thing of any worth that Ace got in Pod was that gold sword. Not really needed. Just checked his map, doesn't get any new knowledge.
Hey, at long last mini Moldorm Cave.
Like, I'd like to see Ace go to get that flute first, because he could end up on Moon Pearl Go mode at this point. Not counting the eastern entrance.
Well, no, you need the Moon Pearl for the mitts. And
Oh,
as far as we
okay.
know, unless we find a connector, you need the
that's a really good point.
Samaria.
That's a really good point. Darn, dashing my dreams, Drossi. It's not every day we get a Moon Pearl Go mode. Yeah?
Chat telling us that Saha is in the potion shop, which is a lot easier to get to if you have the flute.
Yep. Which is maybe why Fred turned it in immediately and Ace has not.
And here's Thieves Town, but since Fred is not... I mean, he's still missing some stuff. He knows now he needs Ice Rod. He doesn't know that's in GT. He doesn't know TR Big is in GT. So he's gonna full clear Thieves Town here.
Yep. I feel like if Ace can just remember to go back and get that flute at Hookshot Cave, he'll have the advantage. But the longer he takes to get back there, the closer Fred's going to get to getting to the point where the only thing he has left to do is to go to that GT entrance location.
Well, this is the big question. Which happens first? Ace remembering that he just needs to mirror and go one screen north from here? Or Fred finding GT?
Ooh, a shovel. That's a bigger distraction. More to distract Fred from where he needs to go. And nothing here to distract Ace from where he needs to go. But the difference is Fred knows he needs to get to GT, he just doesn't know where it is. Whereas Ace seems to have forgotten that the drop down over at the Magic Bat even exists. And still isn't going that direction. And gonna do, he's gonna do Turtle Rock, which is good. He has to do it.
Except that he doesn't have Samaria.
Oh, that's a good point. He can't finish this.
Why isn't Fred doing Meyer, though?
Oh, that's a really good question. Because he can do it. Okay, this is the last thing the only thing that Ace can do in here.
Oh, Fred never finished off Landmos, so...
Yeah, okay, this makes sense to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, Ace is complete. Yeah, he's a little lost here. I really believe he's just completely forgotten Magic Bat.
Well, and GT's in such a horrible place that Fred's probably not finding that anytime soon. So it's really just we are so close to go mode, and neither runner is doing what they need.
I know. Although, to be fair, Fred also needs to get over to the Eastern Palace area to get his Fire Rod. Yes.
And we still have no idea where Eastern Palace itself is or the back of Skull Woods.
I'm going to guess, of the things, I guess there's still... No, Fred did he check all of the Mire area and the desert area? Because at this point, I feel like it's got to be behind the bonks that Ace can't do because he doesn't have a Moon Pearl.
So you think one's a King's Tomb?
Yeah, I at least one, probably a King's Tomb and/or...
oh, right, there's...
the Darklings bonk rocks.
Right.
Is doing the basement, not doing the big chest. Okay.
Because he never had the big key, because that's in Hookshot Cave.
The Hookshot Cave.
And he's not going to Hookshot Cave. He's
saving my God, Ace, please. I've never seen anyone forget a drop down.
Dave's Cloud in chat reminding us that we haven't seen the pod area yet.
Oh yeah, we haven't, have we? So maybe one behind a bonk and the other one in the pod area. I think that makes a lot of sense, but we'll see. We are going to get a Moon Pearl on Ace's side, though, because he is going to do this whirlpool over to... It's a little unfortunate because, this is, again, going to take him away from that flute area. And although, did we find anything in there? No, Cane of Samaria. He needs Cane of Samaria there. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Unless there's a connector, hard required. And I don't think we saw
everything. I don't think there were connectors.
Now, do we know where Hookshot Cave comes? I want to say that was on Floating Island. I don't remember though for sure.
Yeah, the exit to Hookshot Cave was vanilla.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We had that conversation. I'm like, oh yeah, that is vanilla, isn't it? It's still vanilla. Okay, Ace gets the knowledge that Ice Palace is a crystal. Pod is a pendant. Okay, he just saved and quit, so maybe he's thinking that he realizes what he skipped? Or maybe this is just going to the Dark World. Which way are you going? Nope, he's going to the Dark World. Look at his mitts!
That's something.
That's part of the puzzle.
Maybe he'll show us King's Tomb. And I feel bad for Fred still walking while Ace is
yeah, I know, right?
For so long now.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is still such an interesting situation, because Ace could at any moment be like, oh, wait, I never did the bat drop down. And once he thinks about that, he will be able to get right there very easily. Whereas Fred, I don't think, has forgotten his location, just really doesn't want to go there, and I can't blame him. Because it's such a bad location. So essentially, yeah, again, I feel like Ace has the amount of time that Fred will take to realize that's the only thing he's got left. Ace can continue to complete dungeons. There's a good chance he finds Eastern. He's about to get those mitts. Maybe if he does hammer pegs, he'll think of it.
We can hope.
Like, you could just mirror there if you want. Like, that's a thing. It can actually be required, in fact.
Oh.
But
okay,
no,
so
no, he's gonna go there.
Fred did go around because I was just, I was seeing him go to the basement and wasn't sure if he had gotten his silvers, but I see them on his tracker now.
That's right, yeah, and having silvers for finishing Meyer is super nice.
That's why the vanilla game won't let you do it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, if you play by the rules. There are some major glitches that actually do allow you to do it, so.
Yes, I know. There's a nice overworld glitch into Pyramid Fairy.
Yep. Anybody watching the hybrid major glitches tournament has probably seen that a few times. Okay, so Ace has his smith. He's going to go over here to hammer pegs, and let's see if he thinks about the bat drop down that he has not done.
Or even Smith's house above it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's the important one, is the Smith's house above it. But I think if you remember the bat drop down, you'll remember the Smith's house. It's just a shop. And let's see what he does now.
No!
Nope. Oh, Ace, please. Oh, gosh.
And we don't know what he's using for an entrance tracker. It's not on his stream, so for all we know, he mismarked it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he uses an entrance tracker. I know he does when we play SMC3 together, because I don't use an entrance tracker for SM, because I just don't need it. Just for Link to the Past, and so he'll be like, we'll be talking about something being in logic, and he'll be like, oh no, yeah, it's showing up on my tracker. I'm like, oh, is it? Okay, well. He's also going to lose the Smith here in Ice Palace. And also, gonna have to do a bomb jump.
Speaking of these runners' streams, Fred's been using some interesting backgrounds on his stream. He was using, to represent other games that he plays, he was using a Final Fantasy I background. Now he's using a Dragon Warrior 1 background.
Well, the good news is this is a crystal, and that's probably why Ace is doing it. But it's weird. I find it really interesting that both runners grabbed the smith and chose not to turn him in before Ace. You don't have the cane yet. Ace, you don't have the cane yet. Wrong cane. Oops. But yeah, both chose to track the smith into Ice Palace, even knowing that he's going to disappear.
And did Fred not find archery game before? I know AceZer found it. Maybe Fred didn't.
Fred hasn't checked any of this area, Dark World or Light. We just found Eastern.
Well, I guess Daze was right that going to the general pod area would be the answer for one of these.
Well, yeah, certainly was an answer.
Well, that'll be our 5th crystal. Fred can do Skull Woods without the fire rod if he finds the back, but since he's in this area, I would expect him to do the eastern entrance and get his fire rod.
Yeah, I would too.
And then he just needs GT. And everything good is in GT.
Yeah, everything you could possibly want is there.
I mean, if he finds GT soon and finds the back of Skull Woods, this could still be a sub 2 pretty easily.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, go mode in these modes is actually pretty darn quick, too. I have a feeling Ace may actually find that eastern entrance before he gets to his flute that he needs to get to.
And he has that eastern big as well.
Yep. Ace literally just needs a flute to be able to get to the mire area, to mirror and get his Cane of Samaria. That's all he needs. Fred needs the fire rod, which we expect him to get soon. And an ice rod, and there was something else in GT that we needed. Was it a key of some sort?
Turtle Rock Big?
Turtle Rock Big, that's what it was.
And the boots don't hurt either.
Yeah, boots are just nice. Like, honestly, that's the thing that's keeping Ace in this, is everything he's going to be doing is just going to be done faster with those boots. And probably Fred doesn't get those boots until he goes to GT, and he probably doesn't go to GT. Well, obviously until he goes to GT, but probably doesn't go to GT until like that's the only thing left.
I mean, he's just going to keep checking entrances. We will find out what else is in the pod area.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the back of Skull Woods.
And Ace showing us how annoying iced tea is to check when the pegs are the direction you have them for a bomb jump. Well, he's getting some maps that he needs that'll help him get the information he needs to know what he needs to clear. That Thieves Town map will, if he checks his map, he hopefully just doesn't do Thieves Town when he finds it.
So we're going to have nearly simultaneous boss fights here.
Yep, and they're both going to be pretty quick, because Fred with silver arrows on Armos, and Ace with fire rod plus gold sword is going to make it should make very quick work of Cold Stare. Yep, there it is. And
Crystal grabs about 2 seconds
Yep.
apart.
And I'm waiting for the poof. Poof, there goes Jeremiah.
That is only Ace Zero's third crystal, while that's Fred's fifth.
But Ace has done the climb for GT. And the crystals he has left are going to be pretty quick. Of course, who knows where where Skullwoods is.
Right, GT is effectively another dungeon beaten, so...
Yes.
Equivalent to having an extra crystal.
And Ace is not going to do right side GT. There's nothing to... Because his goal mode is going to be that Cane of Samaria. So there's no reason he'll ever go back to GT.
Well, if Fred does left first, he should be able to get his go mode on left side, I would think.
Yeah, that's a good point. Trying to think, which I guess in this situation you kind of treat it like you would a normal non-entrance GT climb. So at worst he doesn't do I don't know what Fred's normal GT routing is, but if he's like a Dark Magician router, then there's the back of Skull Woods, and Ace just found a connector.
Wow!
They got on that Cane of Samaria.
I totally missed there was a connector there. Okay,
we both did. So he
doesn't need the flute.
He doesn't need the flute. This is go mode, except entrances. That's kind of important.
Well, he needs to get to the eastern pod area.
Yes, he does, and that's got to be where the bulk of his things are.
It's also funny that Fred's going to be getting his fire rod right after doing Moth.
Okay, and Ace finds out his crystal, and notice he found the fact that he found Mini Moldorm Cave and didn't even check it. He knows he just needs entrances at this point. So it's just a rush for him to go get to the Eastern Palace pod area. Or just the pod area, actually. So he's going to probably check all these entrances first, but he'll do that very quickly. So it is a race. When does Fred get over to GT?
And when does A0 get to the pod area?
Okay, surprise he's checking this. Like, the fact that he literally didn't check any of the mini Moldorm items, then he goes and finds Ice Rod Cave, and it's like, you know what? I'm not going to check any of the mini Moldorm, but you know what I am going to check? I'm going to check the item in Ice Rod Cave. Okay, Incoherent chat making a good point. Maybe checking for ether. Just in case that shows up somewhere.
Right, he doesn't know that he doesn't need the Turtle Rock entrance.
Right. Still, a little surprised he didn't do Mini Moldorm if that's the situation, if that's the case. This is a connector. I don't know I don't know where that connector goes to.
For Fred showing his displeasure at finding the fire
Well,
rods.
I mean, Fred has his sub badges are bombs, so.
Right. Well, and we can ask him during the interview why he didn't go over there when he exited Saha.
Okay, Ace saying, "Oh wait, here's Thieves Town. I'm not doing this. I don't need to do this." And he's trying to figure out where he needs to go at this point.
And he doesn't have a flute.
Yeah, he's got one more entrance here.
I think Fred's trying to figure out where he needs to go.
Okay, Ace gonna follow this connector. I have no idea where this connector goes. Because obviously there are two connectors into the mire. Oh, this connector, which does no good whatsoever. Bad Ice Rod Cave. I call it Bad Ice Rod Cave because it's the other side of the Good Ice Rod Cave, and just leads to fairies. The one nice thing about this area is I think Ace would be well served to just go do these dungeons. He can do Misery Mire, he can just go mode this, doesn't need to check anything. He can hookshot across the mountain, can just do Turtle Rock very quickly, and then he just needs to get to the Pod Eastern area, or Pod area. I keep saying Pod Eastern, but it's not Eastern, it's just Pod.
So where was the connector that got us to GT? I can't even remember.
Oh gosh, Fred found it early, and I just don't remember where. Okay, let's see, where is Fred heading? He's gonna grab a refill. Yeah, 5.5 hearts when you have silver arrows should be fine. He's unfortunately kicking his block off the switch there. And again, these boots are going to be a nice advantage for Ace the rest of the seed. So wherever he needs to go, he's just going to be able to do things faster in general. Like he did a spooky setup of some sort, and manages to get it.
Where is Fred going?
Dark shopping mall, I think.
Ooh.
You know, it's funny, in the end, the fact that Ganon is vanilla is probably what saves Ace in the end. Because if GT weren't vanilla, I mean, Fred would still, I guess he'd still have to get the items from there, but the fact that Fred has to climb still, while Ace, spent all that time without the flute. Of course, if Fred just gets to GT right now, then I definitely go advantage Fred at this point. It's really hard to call. Ace gonna go across the mountain, gonna finish up TR.
Yeah, Fred was kind of close to the right connector and just ran away from it.
Not sure why Ace is going into the Dark World here, but maybe he hasn't checked these entrances yet. Ace, where are you going?
Oh, no, is Fred going to Catfish?
Yeah. Where was Pod? It was a Bonk Rocks. It was one of the Bonk Rocks. Either Dark Link or Link's House Bonk Rocks, I believe.
Don't often see people hookshotting leftwards across that gap.
Yeah, but this is the fastest way for Ace to get back here. And he's going to do this very quickly. Gold Floor Trinex is really nice. And looks like, oh, this is bad for Fred. Still doesn't have that ice rod. He's suckered himself into doing Turtle Rock from the back. This will be 4 items, because he might have already gotten the big chest. Let's see. So there's 3 at the front, and maybe he hasn't done Crystal Roller Room. Yeah, I'm not sure which parts of this he's done or not.
Yeah, me neither. I guess he hasn't done Crystal Roller.
Yeah, that's pretty clear. I know we saw a large portion of this from Ace. You see he's got 8 out of 12 on his compass.
Fred's not happy about the sewer ski. Okay, he's not doing the whole thing back to front.
Okay. He can do the front from here.
Ah.
Okay, so now Ace needs to get over to the pod area. And I gotta believe that's all he has at this point. Like, there's not a whole lot left. Go get the save and quit from Ace. Fred gonna check these front checks. I don't think we've seen these at all. Oh. Jay Coper in chat saying that Spectacle Rock bomb jump saved the day for Ace. Is that where he got this connector from? Aha, now it all makes sense. So logically, we 100% needed that flute. Because that bomb jump is not in logic. That's actually pretty fascinating.
By the way, we should talk about what these runners get if they win or lose in terms of, potential matchups, because 2-1 runners who the winner of this match will have a chance of facing include like Jay Coper, Dazed Cloud in chat, as well as, people like Relkin or Andy, Ack the Boker, Ashter,
Yep. All very, very good players.
pretty light field. Meanwhile, the 1 and 2s aren't exactly lightweights either. I'm scrolling through this. We got people like Wolfie there, Koi.
I'm gonna assume Bont is there. I don't know that you can check that for me because I know Bonta and Andy had that 0-1 matchup.
Yeah, Bont is there in the name of DT.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Homemade beer.
Okay, Ace is found Eastern. And Fred's back in Tower of Hera. Which is unfortunate. It looks like he's also going to do the big chest. And Scary Olive in chat saying that if you go 0-3, you get to play me. I mean, that's scary, right?
AceZer totally go moding. He just needs to go to the pod entrance, get his back of Skull Woods, and go to Ganon.
Yeah, I gotta believe. I mean, he's not going to get distracted by the top of the pyramid. He was up there already after beating Agatu. Oh, Fred going into Castle Tower. There's one more check here. Fortunately, he knows he does not have to clear this because there's nothing behind here.
Yeah, so really what this will come back to is that Fred took quite a while to check that Uncle drop down and get his mirror.
Yep. Yeah, Ace had that mirror early so that when he was in that connector on Bumper Ledge, he mirrored and he knew where GT was from, I'd say within 30 minutes. And there's Skullwoods, and this is full on go mode for Ace. At this point, I don't think Fred can. Well, there's no way he can catch up at this point.
And barring disaster, this is a sub 2, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. And did Fred not check something in Turtle? I thought, did he not finish this dungeon? No, he just didn't finish it. So he's checking for items here. Can't say I blame him. Yeah, Days Cloud in chat saying, learn your bomb jumps, kids. I would add, don't forget major locations that are in Sphere 1.
Was there a moth there? I'm not sure I saw one.
I mean, Gold Sword makes quick work of Mothula.
Only thanks to the hack of this game, because in the vanilla game, Gold Sword doesn't damage Mothula.
Yeah, exactly. Fun fact, and I apologize if these are spoilers, but since the April Fool's Festive is like long time ago, I did discover in the April Fool's Festive, they put that back in. I had a moth fight with Gold Sword, and was not doing any damage. So I had to come up with alternate strats there. And Ace just gonna beeline it to the Ganon drop. Gold swords, silvers. I believe he's even got a bottle of blue and maybe a red in case things go badly. Shouldn't need them.
Oh, and by the way, we have news. The final Crosskeys match of Week 3 is now finally underway. So that's something you all can tune into once this is over.
Oh, has that got a restream?
No, but multi-stream.
Yep. Or even just using race time, you can actually watch from there, which is pretty convenient.
Yeah, so one of the players just had a 4-hour power outage that he finally got his power back from.
Ah, got it. Oh, okay. Is that the Hitaka-Zeruvian match?
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Hitaka said he got thunderstorms and lost power for 4 hours.
Oof. Hitaka also an SMZ3 player. I'll shout him out. Zeruvian plays on occasion, but I think he's going to be just doing commentary for the tournament since he chose not to find a partner and participate. So.
But he does a lot of comms there, and in any case, this is Ganon down, so we're going to get 150 and change here for AceZer, which is really great.
That is, considering the flute issues. He and I, fortunately, we are co-oping SMZ3, so hopefully we don't both forget locations. But yeah, 150.39 official race time for Ace. Very nicely done. Meanwhile, Fred gets his pendant at Thieves Town.
That'll send AceZer to the 2-1 group next week, and Fred to the 1-2.
The one good thing for Fred, though, he can't get baited into Pod because he needs the boots for that, because Pod is behind the boots.
Ooh, looks like Fred might be going in the right direction now.
Is this the right connector? It is the right connector. He's gonna find GT. And I hope he still does the basement, because, like, there's got to be a temptation to just go behind
first.
Well, this could just be Hope Room.
Could be. Hey, and we're joined by AceZer. GG.
Yeah, GG, Ace.
Thanks, GG.
Okay, so first question. Did you just completely forget that Magic Bat and the Smith House even existed?
Wait, what do you mean? Like the white version? I swear I checked.
Yeah. You never checked.
So if you had gone into the Smith House, I mean, maybe you checked Magic Bat, but you definitely didn't check the Smith House. Had you gone in there, you would have gotten a Hookshot Cave, and you would have gotten a flute, which was your logical access over to the Mire area. Okay, so...
I definitely went in Magic Bat, and I marked both of them off on my tracker. I knew I needed the flute, too. Wow, okay.
So...
That's interesting. I guess that's really lucky that that's what I messed up.
It's really lucky that there was a connector to the Mire area. So
out of logic one, but...
Yeah, that was so... I was so excited when I saw that. Like, I was like, I'll try the bomb jump across, because, like, I definitely need either flute or the connector there. I knew that was all I needed to get my cane.
Right, yeah, because you'd seen it.
And that was go mode, because I'd already scouted it. And I was like, I'll try the bonk across, like, it might work. And I was really confused when I took that other connector out. I found that other connector there, and I was like, oh, well, this must be the one I was supposed to take to get there. And then it was a dead end on Death Mountain. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just do Mire while I'm here then.
Yeah,
crazy. So I knew I was... So I tried not to worry too much about the early game logic. because obviously I never found the Hera big key, and that locked my flippers.
Oh, that was also in
and
Hookshot Cave.
gloves.
Yes, that's
Okay.
Yep.
That explains it. Because that locked my flippers and my glove, and then of course I did the green pendant swamp out of logic, and eventually turned it in for my pearl, and I was like, what is going on here? Like, what did I
It's
miss?
all Hookshot
I
Cave.
guess it
Yep.
was there.
It
Wow.
also would have taken. I believe it takes you. Yeah, it has a vanilla exit. So, or I guess entrance. Well, whichever. It would have taken you to the floating
Okay.
island too. I forget what was even there if you mirrored, but so your advantage over Fred was you had a mirror when you got to Bumper Ledge, and so even though
so
you
he didn't
couldn't
save
actually
early.
do GT at the time, he last location that and is in fact in there right now, picking up his Go Mode Ice Rod and Go Mode Turtle Rock Big Key.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like the early like item placement really helped me, and I like a lot of it was luck, but also a lot of it I think I made really good choices with like getting the glove and like waiting to do certain areas till I could actually do all of it. Like I waited to do like North Light World until I had a glove so I could not orphan that like Death Mountain Ascent cave and
Yep.
stuff like that I make those mistakes a lot, and I was really careful not to do those little things.
You did wait quite a while to turn in the green pendant.
Yeah, you
I
did.
did. It was I was kinda hoping for the flute, honestly, to get over there faster.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Or even the, like, I wanted to do it either, like, with the rest of, like, the North Light World stuff, like, I know I had the King's Tomb I turned it in did I turn it in after Bonk Rocks? I can't remember, but I know I had King's Tomb left still because I didn't have the mitts. I
Yeah,
had the
at some
Magic Hat
point.
Shack that was nearby, like, I wanted to pair it with something if I could, but
Yeah, I think at some point you just saved and quit and just gave up and just did the water portal over there.
yeah, it still was going to be efficient because if it wasn't there, like, if that didn't give me progress, I was gonna be closer than any other place that I was gonna be to, like, the actual Sahasrah's hut, which was my connector up to Death Mountain, and I had some things to do there. Like, I hadn't checked the 2 Dark Death Mountain ones, like, the lower caves,
Yep.
like Super Bunny and the one next to it, but
Yeah. Also, the fact that you got to GT a lot sooner than Fred did also gave you a nice boots advantage for a long time. So that
yeah.
helped too.
Yeah, honestly, I was a little bit worried about that because it was I I have a really bad habit of, like in Crosskeys, GT is the one for me, like, different modes, there's always one thing that holds me up sometimes that I just forget, and GT is the thing I forget that I can do because it's not a dungeon, you don't really, like, have to do it normally,
Yeah.
and, like, I always find it and I can't do anything there, and then I never route in going back even though it's got a million items. So I
Yeah,
made a
and you did.
really good point to go back somewhat early.
And you did clearly know that you had to finish it. We were wondering if you're going to drop down into Ganon and realize that you'd.
That's the bug.
But apparently you did at least check the bat. You just never went into the hut
I
above
definitely
it.
because the bat was the Lost Woods drop down, I believe, and I scouted
Yeah,
the
that
item,
sounds
there was
right.
nothing. I think instead of walking out, I just saved and quit, is what I did, and then I marked both
Mm.
off on my tracker,
Yep,
that might
that's
be
classic. That is classic tracker
'cause
thing
I
to
didn't wanna
do.
walk all the way back out the 2 door transitions from there just to get back to Kakariko.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Yeah, we weren't sure if you'd checked the bat, but we knew you hadn't checked the hut above there because there was some good stuff there. Now, I mean, at least not getting the Hera Big Key kept you out of going back in there for the big chest.
Yeah, I tried to wait on the basement chest in Hera until I got the big key because I figured it's gonna come up soon. It's gotta come up soon,
Yep.
and then it never did. So like, well, I'll just go back for the basement anyway. While I'm starting to dwindle down, gives me time to think. That and
And
it was next to the Turtle Rock big chest.
yeah, I'm pretty certain Fred got his Hera Big Key literally right after he did Hera.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think this seed was great. I definitely feel like other than that,
Still needs to finish Turtle Rock, right?
Gotta do
He only
Turtle
just
Rock.
got the ice rod.
And I like what he's done here. He's left a mirror portal there that he'll be able to keep and go right back to Ganon after he does Turtle Rock really quickly. Okay, so yeah, I think the tracker had it marked that you would, or maybe maybe it was just marked that you knew it was a crystal. That may be what was confusing me.
yeah, I did see that because it was I had a map for there on my first map check. That was like the
Yep.
only one that wasn't like red or green pendant that I
Yep.
knew at the time. But yeah, I hadn't been in yet. I thought about like just going to turn in the Smith because it's only a couple screens away, and I was like kind of planning on that anyway. But obviously, that's why I took him up north.
I think that was just another map.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Fred went back and grabbed the Smith and turned it in after Ice Palace, but you both had Froggy go poof on you in Ice Palace.
Nice. Yeah, this was a really generous Crosskeys seed. It's been a long time since I've seen so many good items up front. Like, just everything worked out for me in Kakariko. We got 2 swords super early. We got hookshot was early. Gloves and mirror. So Fred was late to the mirror. Where was that again? I don't even remember because I know I got it.
It was at the Uncle Drop Down at the castle.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, so Fred waited about 20 minutes before even doing a Link's House start and then checking the Uncle Drop, whereas you checked it relatively early.
Yeah. Oh, so if you watch this back, one of the funniest moments was you were side by side going through to rescue the old man because you both found the front of Old Man Cave. Only you had the lamp and he didn't.
Oh, okay. See, Lamp was really early for me too.
It was in Link's house, and Fred just didn't go to Link's house. Yeah.
I was like, how did he miss that?
I mean, you didn't miss it. You just didn't start. You just started I mean, when you're.
I was kind of surprised that you both did Sank starts.
So I recently switched. I used to do Link's House start, but I found that I had a couple seeds in a row actually where Sanctuary was at the Uncle Drop Down, and it feels really bad to walk all the way up there. And when you walk in, it's Sanctuary, and it's like, well, now I have to walk all the way up and get this chest. And I just wasted all this time. I could have just started at Sank in the first place. Yeah. It was really dumb. So I kind of switched, and it's been working out pretty well for the most part.
I mean, when Sanctuary is at Kakariko, I mean, it's a very convenient starting point. So of all the locations that you could start at, I could see that one keeping you from actually starting at Link's house the longest.
Yeah, I mean, and any of them are good because, like, if it's somewhere you don't really want it to be, mostly you just save and quit out of there anyway. Like, if you get like Dark World Sank start, just grab Pyramid and then like, well, I'm not going back here for a long time.
Yep.
Hey, and just to take a moment here, Fred gets a very nice triple to finish off the pig. So get your GGs in.
Yeah, Fred's going to finish up with a very nice time of 2:03:23.
Yeah, I mean, quite respectable. And if he had just found GT a bit earlier, he could have easily won it.
Yeah, or if he had the mirror when he was there the first time. It's just, I mean, it's randomizer. Those are the things that happen. So, Like Fred also going to join us.
Hopefully.
And yeah, I mean, his situation was different. Like, he knew that location, and I just don't think he wanted to go there. And, who wants to go to that location? It really wasn't convenient to get back to where the connector was.
He was prioritizing one-off checks in locations that he knew over one-off locations that he didn't know it was there.
Yeah, and to be fair, he did need to get to need to get to GT, and he knew it. So entrances definitely need to be checked, but he was missing items too. So no way to know that GT is just going to have everything at that point.
Right, and I'm just looking, Ace, at your collection rate, 147 in a Crosskeys.
Yeah, that's.
Well, didn't do Thieves Town. Let's see, no Thieves Town, no mini Moldorm Cave. You did most of Pod, but
yeah, I left more than you normally would in a Crosskeys. I feel like, but
and you did most of GT. You skipped Tile Room and Room, but that's only 5 chests.
Yeah. Didn't have to check anything in Eastern.
Didn't do Hookshot Cave.
Didn't do Hookshot Cave. Yeah.
Before I get down.
That was 4 checks off your collection rate.
And I do believe we have Fred with us. GG's Fred.
Oh, thank you. Well done there, Ace. Well done.
Yeah, same to you, GG.
Yeah.
So we were discussing this with Ace a bit, but you guys both did a Sanctuary start. Is this just kind of your regular meta?
For me, usually, I mean, it depends, comes and goes, but usually I tend to do a start like that and ideally head over to a houlihan. And, well, in this case, not so much.
Well, when you got that thieves place with money harvesting, why bother?
Yeah, minor stuff like that, exactly.
And it was, I think, the most ideal place to have Sanctuary in Kakariko. So it's a pretty nice place to be able to just start at.
Well, up until the point the flute came along early, and then it's like, oh, I kind of want to be somewhere else because I can flute over there very easily.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
So, yeah, Ace never found the flute.
Oh!
He decided that the vanilla Smith's house just didn't exist.
Oh, fair enough. I could appreciate that.
Yeah, I think I saved and quit out of the front of the magic bat. Like I went in to check what that was, and I'm pretty sure I saved and quit out of there and just marked both off on my tracker because those entrances are right next to each other, and just didn't realize my mistake ever.
And hey, it was a good thing you bomb jumped Spec Rock Cave, because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to get to Meyer area without the flute.
Yeah, that would have been a disaster because I would have looked everywhere else for that flute and found it.
Yeah, Fred, your biggest problem was, of course, not getting having the mirror when you got to some of those locations, in particular, Bumper Ledge.
Oh yeah,
I assume you just didn't. I mean, I assume you didn't forget it. You just didn't want to go back there, and I can't say I blame you. It was a terrible location.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pain to get over there. I was, I mean, it wasn't too bad because it wasn't like a long cave that you had to go through. I was dreading going back to possibly Mimic Cave to have to check that for one of those items. That was kind of one of the ones that I was expecting to have to do at some point there towards the end. But as I said, I kept just kind of looking around. Okay, do I need to hunt for a location? Do I need to find, I was like, which one's it going to be? Or is it going to be get the boots somewhere and open up a bunch more?
Yep.
And, well, I just picked the wrong one.
Well, hey, the boot spared you pod.
That's true.
And Ped, because, the pod was behind the boots.
Fair enough. Yeah, got that way too late.
Did you consider at all just climbing GT when you got there and skipping the basement?
I was 2 items away. The odds of that being my key were really tough, especially since I would have had to find really the boots to open anything up. So I knew I had to at least clear most of the dungeon there, hoping to find things. When I got the ice rod, I actually did start considering whether to keep going or not. I was probably going to skip right side and then do the climb there. I'm
glad you didn't. I'm glad you did keep going. So. Because, I mean, again, it being such a bad location, you don't want to have to go there extra if you can avoid it.
Yeah, this is just a little bit of a pain in the butt. As I said, not too bad. I should have gone back there earlier, but like I said, I just went to all the other locations first and even said, oh, thieves, yeah, maybe there must be like the big key or something or in there that will unlock some of the other boots, and nope. And then finding the small key in Ganon's tower, I was like, oh. Joy.
Unfortunately, you found your go mode shortly thereafter, so it wasn't something you had to go back for.
Exactly.
What was your go mode, Fred? Then, if it was
Turtle Rock Big, technically at that point. I mean, it really was ice. It was the combo. I needed both Ice Rod and Turtle Rock Big. Really happy it was Turtle Rock Big second and not the Ice Rod, because I might have considered checking that chest first.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Yeah, what was yours?
Well, my go mode was basically like 3 different entrances.
Oh, geez.
But the last item I got that I needed was the Cane of Samaria, actually. Because since I'd missed the flute, it took me forever to get to the Meyer area, and finally I got that and got my cane, and I was still missing Eastern and Skull Woods. And Thieves Town, actually, but I immediately after found Thieves and didn't do anything because it was a pendant.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
the first 4 and ran.
The missing entrances reminded me, since you both found the back of Skull and Eastern pretty late because you both got to the pod area fairly late in the game. But I was wondering, Fred, When you exited a connector that was at Saha's house and didn't check Eastern, did you just not want to get bogged down in that part of the map?
That was because I had been. You know what it was? It was the other end of it was the top of Super Bunny there, and I just wanted to knock out a few entrances over near that, and figured I'd come back over there later, hit them, and possibly if I had Mirror, be able to hit all of them at once. I mean, the Fire Rod would have helped. Okay, a little bit. Okay, yeah, that would have been a nice thing to have there, but basically I was like, the other three I'm going to come back to. I honestly don't remember if I had flute that early. Yeah, I definitely had flute that early because I basically spent the first like 15 minutes in Kakariko. So yeah, I just figured at some point I'm going to flute to 5. I can hit that. I can hit the cave near 5. I can hit the Eastern all in one swoop, and then when the Mirror came along, okay, I can do all 7 remaining ones all together at once.
So a couple of fun things we told Ace. So you were late to that lamp because it was so long before you actually started at Link's house. So at one point, you two were side by side going through the old man cave and rescuing the old man to get to Death Mountain. Only you were in the dark and he was in the light.
Oh, nice.
That was kind of funny. And you both took the poor frog into Ice Palace.
Yeah, well, I mean, I felt like he needed to take a little bit of a nap. I hear the cold weather tends to cool him off a little bit. So
those are fun aspects of the race.
Well, I mean, and he denied me the half magic because I went in first with him before I went over to go do things. So I was like, oh yeah, well you kept the half magic from me. If you give me that in the first place, I might have taken you home a little sooner.
Yeah, half magic actually, I guess, would have been more useful for Ace, but he had Gold Sword by the time he got in there. It's with Bombos,
Yep.
not as much of an impact, but I mean, you had a Tempered Sword, so it wasn't really difficult either.
Oh yeah. No, I was gonna say, I mean, Gold Sword would have definitely been a nice little touch there, but just never found. I'm guessing Pod must have been Sword 4, or
yeah Pod.
Of course.
Yeah, the book was in Pod too, which I luckily didn't need any more items really, so I didn't like follow that bait. But that was like kind of a I don't want to find this kind of moment.
Understandably.
Yeah, that
went to that too.
Yeah, that must have felt bad though when you with your Tempered Sword, stealing the key from Desert, checking the right side, and I mean, you had to reset it, right?
Yeah. No, there's no way, because I don't know where that small key to Desert's going to be, so I got to leave that behind. And then, of course, it was like 5 minutes later. Oh, yep,
and then
you are.
And then you had to go back to get the Swamp Small that was in the big chest, which was hard required.
Yeah, just a little bit there. First item and last item. All the rest were junk. If that had been a spoiler log, that would have been a lot more interesting of a playthrough Swamp Palace there.
Yeah, I mean, you both full cleared it, so.
The Blue Mail was there too?
Yeah, that's right. Blue Mail was in there. I keep forgetting that. I don't think we ever found Red, so.
That would have been pretty jet as a spoiler log seed, honestly.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. You had one pen in dungeon you actually had to do anything in, so.
Yeah, and you could have had Hammer early too to get even earlier boots than I did, which were, not super late, but they were fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hear about a 2-hour boots find is a pretty good thing.
Yeah, mine was like, I don't know, 1 hour in.
Yeah, probably 1
hour. A little
hour
bit later.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right. Anything else either one of you want to add before we wrap this up?
It was great to play you, Ace. Great job on this one. It was always a good race, hopefully entertaining for everyone to watch. And hope rest of your luck in the best of the tournament. So that way, hopefully, I can run back into you at some point in a bracket, maybe, if I get really, really lucky and go on a giantly long run here.
Yeah, thanks. Same to you, Fred. It was a lot of fun. Good luck going forward. And thanks for commentary and tracking and everything. And for the restream. Appreciate it.
I wish both of you good luck in this tournament. Ace, I don't know if I should be wishing you luck since you're my partner in SMZ3, but Fred, I'll wish you luck in the SMZ3 with you and Lack Attack. I believe playing tomorrow night, so
yeah, we are.
Maybe we'll face you there.
Yeah, good luck to both of you going forward. Still got 5 more weeks of Swiss here, so anything can still happen, right?
Exactly, especially in Crosskey there. Just missed that one entrance and kaboom.
Yep, absolutely. Crosskeys will do that.
And do give both of these runners a follow, and thanks again to both of them for being willing to be restreamed tonight. Always nice when we can get these matches on the air.
Yeah, it was a good match too. I knew it was a good matchup when I saw it, and I think it lived up to it.
Finally rolled a seed that wasn't complete crap, and the internet just did not want to cooperate. Big apologies to chat, our commentators, our trackers, for our restream issues. We did try to fix them as quickly as possible. So Fred Coughlin is doing the push to partner. So if you guys haven't yet, jump over there, give Fred a follow. Also AceZer. But if you see Fred on, jump on his stream, give him some, some encouragement, hang out for a little bit, because it's always awesome to have a partner in our ALttPR community. Big thank you to Drosy and Tracy for not missing a beat when our stream crashed. Thank you to chat for being super patient, Lady Laura Linda, as well as Toffel for being our wonderful trackers today. I am Jinxie Girl on behalf of ZSR. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope that you tune in some more to catch some great Crosskeys matches, hopefully with some more reliable internet. So with that, I am going to sign us off and say goodnight.